up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf. And my God, we had a great, full, eventful weekend of
Mhm.
boxing. And I'm glad to sit down and talk about it with you.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we always tweet regardless of, what's happening in the fight. We tweet or we text each other. We're responding on our tweets and we're responding to others. But my goodness, the Netflix, first of all, congratulations, most valuable promotions, Jake Paul, everyone there, and Netflix. Thank you for putting on an incredible event, minus the buffering and the lack of. I get it. You didn't realize the entire world was going to tune in. I don't think anyone would
Right.
understand, but it was an incredible event, and hands down with the most viewership of households and people just watching, and the attendance. Congratulations! All that already is a win for boxing. Netflix did an amazing job. I mean, it was such a fantastic job. But I know I saw you posted on Twitter. You were one of the many that had you got a TV screen on Netflix saying pardon.
I mean,
What
it's
was
just
that?
crazy. It's just crazy the idea that 60 million people stood still. Like, this is global audience. This is not just American audience. This is everywhere around the world. And I mean, it legitimately, even for a Friday, had a huge fight feel. I was in here, I had chicken, I had wings, it really had somebody come over. It really had a big fight feel. And it made me feel very nostalgic for a moment. We'll get into the merits of the card, but I mean, did you feel like it was a big fight weekend?
It really was. I mean, first of all, when we found out the numbers, they sold out Cowboy Stadium, 72,300. They were just a little shy under the Canelo Billy Joe Saunders fight. But
Hmm.
you're talking about casual fans that didn't even know. They only wanted to see Mike Tyson and or Jake Paul, the influencer. Like, they didn't know who Amanda or Katie or any of the actual legit boxers on the card were. But to get those eyes in front of everyone around the world, that thing was trending. I mean, that's why the satellites, I bet you, like, the aliens in different planets were watching. They were screwing with our
They
feeds.
probably were floating in space like that. Yeah, it's about time for this fight to come on. We've been waiting all century for this fight to come on. And it really made my heart feel so good
Did.
just to see like the women were the focal point, but
Yeah.
Netflix as an entity, wow. If
Yeah.
you could afford to pay out what you paid out, how much did y'all make? And how do you, I know the advertising is a thing, but I still don't fully understand how streaming makes money per
It's
se, other than Netflix.
advertising. It's advertising, marketing. I mean, the whole thing was basically a big Netflix ad. I mean, come on, you saw Karate
Mm-hmm.
Kid. You saw the Karate Kid there. You saw a lot of the celebrities. You saw Squid Game cast was there. They didn't show it on the telecast, but I saw it on Netflix. I'm like, they must be very uncomfortable sitting in those outfits with like the X and the O. But that's when you have reached audiences, because people who have never seen boxing, but they watch Squid Games or
They
they
show
watch
the hell.
Karate Kid, the new Gen Z version. So I think it was such a really good crossover in all genres. But yes, you said the focal point of the women. It was, I rewatched some of these fights, and because I was so in the moment, and all you hear is the crowd for the women and for the boxers, because they're like, you hear like, oh shit, I didn't know she could fight like that. Oh shit, these guys can actually fight. Like, that is what boxing is all about. It's not just like pity patty. It's not scripted. These were real fights, and from the top to bottom was so incredible. But I loved it. Netflix, I would love for you to come back into boxing. I mean,
Absolutely. They
yeah,
did it the
they
right
did.
way.
They
They
did it the
got the
right
pole
way.
position. They got the audience. They want people to, I mean, it made business sense for them, like you said, big commercial.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it was the right formula for a big spectacle, but we'll talk about the fight itself. And
Imagine the budget.
mm,
Netflix and MVP, they're like, so this is your budget. I wonder how many commas were in there.
or even the forethought to put it on a Friday so that it doesn't have to compete with John Jones of UFC. So
Well, that, but
that
also
even come
there
about?
is a football game. Like something I read because I know that they were playing obviously Sunday football, but I thought they didn't want to compete with John Jones because
Mhm.
that whole was a big, a big deal.
Big deal.
But
Mhm. And it was
there was
crazy.
yeah, yeah, so good. It was so fun. It was beautiful to see. But now it's time to get in the fights, Giandra, because we
Yes.
got in it. We got in it. We talked about it. We did a preview show of Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 2, their rematch 2.5 years later. I, before I give my thoughts, Giandra, did you believe their 13th round was a continuous, or did you see a whole different fight from the very first one?
I thought it was a different fight for two reasons. Amanda looked more secure in her weight. Because when I looked at them standing next to each other, I thought Amanda looks good. Like she
Mm-hmm.
looks filled out, she looks strong, and she still had that signature style that we know her for. So on that made it a new fight for me. And the fact that, I mean, Katie is not the most explosive fighter coming out the gate, but she started real slow. And her braids were together. So
That's
that
what
itself
I
made
wanted
it
to
a whole
tweet.
different fight. Girl, thank God. Thank you to Katie's braider. Shout out to you.
we we salute you, because if not, I'd be like, cut that off or tape it up. Like, but yes, that was actually I think when you saw her, when I saw her exhausted, not the fact that I felt like both of their faces looked like they were falling off because they were so tired and the blood, and we'll get to that. But I kept looking at Katie's braids. I'm like, they're holding in place. Like as much when every time she
He
got
made it
hit.
all the way to the end before Amanda started beating the braids out. But we'll get to that.
All right. So, round by round, it was a God, it was such a close fight. And I had to rewatch it because now that I was really focused and not tweeting, not texting, and just focused on the fight solely, I turned commentary off. And
Mm,
man, I can't say if I saw a different fight, but I did, like I asked you, I saw a different fight from the first fight because yes, Amanda filled out very well. She went 3 weight classes. Katie Taylor, she said in interviews that she's like, I'm gonna be different in this fight, that I've added more. And I've always known, and people have always talked that she can't fight off her back foot, and she
mhm,
always fights forward. And so that's why when she fought Pursoon, a lot of people thought she lost. I did too. But she got back in there, and now that she already knew how Amanda fought, it's like, oh, this is like, it's just one gear for both of them. It's war. I thought that Katie did a lot better. And Amanda, my God, it's just she just doesn't stop. I'm just, that eye girl, her eyelid was about to fall off, and they had a headbutt in the third. Um, what do you think about the headbutts?
I want to back up a little bit to even just looking at how they matched up against each other. Katie, shout out to the great Roy Jones Jr., who kept saying he had some very strong opinions about what he didn't like during
Yeah.
both of these fights. And he made mention to her conditioning and how he didn't like how she was looking a little winded and she had her mouth open. He's like, I
Who
don't
is
like
this?
her
Katie?
posture. Katie
Kate?
Taylor.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
like her
yeah.
posture. He didn't like any of it in the opening rounds, but I don't know, maybe it was a ploy. I don't know, but leading it up into the round with the head. But I I watched it back as well, and I don't know if I feel that Katie is I wouldn't say she's a dirty fighter, but I will say she's a crafty fighter. And I will liken it to somebody like Bernard Hopkins and some
Hmm.
of like the little things he does in the ring to really get under your skin. She may not have headbutted Amanda on purpose because it was, same side styles fighting, Orthodox and Southpaw, but she absolutely was coming in her head and rubbing her stayed in braids against Amanda's eyebrow.
I no, I completely agree. The headbutts, there was more than I saw, but she leads with her head. And I noticed, I never really noticed about Katie, but then yet I never paid attention until this fight. She really leans in with her head and clinches and just like puts all her weight and then
Mm-hmm.
starts to hit. And sometimes when she did that, she would get hit hard in the clinch because obviously you break out of the clinch. But I was like, and at one point, because I had the sound off when I saw the ref say, uh, you know, uh, like, stop, I'm watching you like this before anything happened. And I'm thinking, huh, this is interesting. So from that moment on, I just kept really watching how she was positioning her head. But
Mm-hmm.
man, those girls are, all you heard was like, lead with the jab. There was no more jabs
Yeah.
in that. There was no jabs. It was just a straight assault. It was bloody violence. And, it gave me the chills watching it because we already know how these ladies fight. But for the audience who has never seen these ladies fight, they were in for such a treat because when people say women can't fight, phew, they just
That proved
showed.
them wrong. I just took a trip to the dispensary. And when I got there,
Did
there
they
were
give you an
women working
ear?
there. And when I went in there, I was just escorting someone there.
Oh, escorting.
And
Okay.
they were talking about the fight in there, and they were like, "Oh my God, those women were so badass." And I'm like, it gave me such a sense of pride that it reached to that level of people who were really truly tuned in for these two badass warriors. So let me
Mm-hmm.
say that. But with Katie, with the thing with the headbutt, I don't think she knows she's crafty and smart, and she did what she needed to do. Amanda was her best when she was stalking her and had her pinned in the corner and was going to town throwing bombs. Katie was best in the center of the ring where she can fight at a distance and get her timing and get her combinations off. And that made for just such an exquisite matchup. Do we want to see a third version? I mean, I would watch it, but man, Amanda's eye, that's a lot of scar tissue.
That it was like she got head-butted in the third, and then the seventh round was the best round. It was war. Seventh round was a war. And
Mm-hmm.
then the eighth round was when she hit it. Obviously, Katie's gonna keep hitting it. And
Right.
that thing was like falling off, and you could see Amanda's just like, and they had to stop it. And I'm thinking, if they stop the fight, I was like, if it goes to cards, Amanda won this. And the ref didn't want to stop. I'm like, this thing is like down here. I was like,
Right. It was flapping.
it
It
was
looked
flopping in the
like some
wind.
salmon or something flapping on the side of her face like sashimi. I'm like, oh, Amanda. My mom couldn't take it. My mom is a nurse, and she was like, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, Mom, it's just fish. It's all right. Think of it that way.
It just looked, it was so bad. And I just couldn't believe, the amount of blood. Usually when you see blood, you kind of get a little nervous and you're like, oh, pawing away from it. But Amanda just kept bulldozing and just was hitting some hard shots. There were a
Mhm.
lot of shots she missed. Katie boxed very well. I mean, everyone was split on who won and how they fought. And I mean, I still scored it. I fairly the same. And then what in the eighth, that's when the ref deducted a point. And
Right.
I'm thinking, okay, so maybe you know what, Rev, I love that you did that, but you have to also let these girls fight it out. I was like, dude, every time they got in the clinch, break it up. I'm like,
Let them
fight,
fight.
let them fight, let them fight. But he did break him up at one time where she tried rubbing her head and like leaning, and that's when he broke up. He's like,
I'm watching you,
I'm
girl.
watching you.
I'm very interested to seeing what folks tuning in think about the point deduction, because I'm kind of torn on the point deduction because she does lead with her head, but at the same time, it's a southpaw versus an
Yeah.
orthodox, so they're going to collide. It's just going to happen. And if anyone can think of another instance of a fight, I can't think of any off the top of my head where somebody got a point deduction for headbutting, like that type of instance where it's same sidey
Yes.
stuff going on. Let
I
me
mean,
know.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look because I know there are, but I, I mean, they've gotten point deducted for less, for
Mm-hmm.
less. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what happened in the eighth. And you know what? Someone pointed out, and thank you for whoever pointed out on Twitter when we made our prediction from our last run it back. We did it
Mm-hmm.
based off 12 rounds when we're
Oh
like
yeah. All
150.
right.
But we're so used to that. And that's why, and I've been always saying this, all sanctioning bodies, when it's an undisputed, at least make it 12 rounds.
Right.
Keep 2 rounds, fine. Keep 2 rounds, but make 12. It just 12. But I for me, I scored it. I mean, I had when I rewatched it, I don't know if you actually scored it yourself. I had it the same 96. Well, let me write it or let me find it. Oh, I had it 90, 95, 94 for Amanda. So,
Mm.
but hey, I mean, I'm not sure if there's a score sheet that's going around. I don't know if that's the official score sheet. Because it's WBA, but we haven't seen it come from MVB, so I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. But if it is the real one, and I'm not gonna show it because I'm not confirming. If it was the real one, it showed that every judge gave the first round to Katie.
I
Everyone
hope
that
that's
we know that watched the fight,
crazy.
besides the judges and besides Katie's corner, I think Katie's corner knew that Amanda won the first round. So, and this one has
Absolutely.
a lot of whiteout and a lot of like this person didn't know how to add. Like no, I'm like I was
Texas is gonna Texas. Texas is
yeah.
gonna Texas.
And yeah,
That's
and we
all I
got
can say about that.
Texas is Texas. So I think that, and so the CompuBox scores. I'm going to read this. The stats for that night. So Katie landed 217 and Amanda landed 324.
Mm.
Katie threw 529 and Amanda threw 734. Jesus. And then Katie landed, her percentage was 41% and Amanda 44%. This is like high, high skill level boxing at its best. Men don't even
Mm.
throw this at times. But I'm not gonna say because the stats, because you judge round by round, you don't judge overall.
Mhm.
If for fans that are tuning in for the first time, it's scored round by round. But I don't what were the judges looking for? The cleaner, more effective shots, the more jab. Well, there were no jabs. It was just the more aggressive. We don't know. That's why I want to see a trilogy, but I think
Mm.
it needs to move up. They need to do 12 rounds. Um, I don't think it's going to happen in 3 minutes because, I mean, hey, WBC might not like it, but whatever.
Right. Right.
And do it at Croke Park because it's on Katie, she won it. Would you want to see a trilogy or this is just it? Like, do
No,
you
I'm
see
with
the
it.
same income? Do you see the same outcome?
I'm down with them, but I'm trying to think who it is who never is on the good side of decisions. I don't. I think Amanda is incredible, and I really thought she won the fight as well.
Yeah,
I thought she won the first fight, and I don't know if she can get a decision somewhere. So, is the idea of a trilogy really entertaining to me? Yes. Would I watch it? Yes. They both are excellent at what they do, but are the judges going to give Amanda her just due? She fights again. It's like the couple
especially
that
in
keeps
Ireland.
fighting. Right, exactly. It's like the couple who keeps trying for a girl when they've got a house full of boys and the girl never comes. The girl never comes. So I don't know, Amanda. I'm happy for you to make your money. That was a horrible gash that you received in this fight. And it's going to take a long time for that even to heal.
Mhm.
And, in the meantime, and even if there is a trilogy, because that's such a serious injury, do you even take stay busy fights and risk it opening up like that? Like, what do you do? What do you do in this situation? So I don't know, Katie and Amanda, God bless you both. That was an incredible fight. I love the idea of a trilogy, but I just don't know if a trilogy can happen or if Amanda will get the right side of a decision.
Let me ask you this because
Mm.
we see it a lot and it's a lot of people tweeted out that night. Did you see it as a robbery?
No, I don't think it
Yeah.
was a robbery. I thought it was a really close fight. I
Hmm.
thought Amanda edged, but people get too crazy with that term. She wasn't robbed because they act like Katie wasn't doing shit. Katie was rumbling. That
They
second
both
half
were.
of that
Jeez.
fight, my God, I enjoyed that performance. It makes me want to go back down the rabbit hole and watch some of her other fights again. Katie, Amanda, we know Amanda she gonna box and she gonna get busy. but Amanda would, or we know Amanda is going to come with power and all of that, but Katie was Mickey Ficky rumbling.
Yeah, they both
God
were. It was
damn.
like
Woo!
the one thing about Amanda, her head was on the line too much, and
Mm-hmm.
she didn't have a lot of head movement. But then yet again, Katie was leading with her head. So
Yep.
even if she started moving with her head, she still would have gotten headbutt. So they both were not perfect in the fight, clearly, but I didn't believe it was robbery because it was a very close fight. And we've talked about this. Robberies are when they totally score for one side and they didn't give any rounds to the other person, and it was unanimous. And
Yep.
people think when unanimous is meaning that they didn't see the fight at all for Amanda or for Katie. They saw it for both. It was just so close, so close. But I think, and it was
We'll do
just
a
like
video one day. We'll do a
yeah.
little social drop, judging for dummies, and we'll send it to the judges too.
They're all Texas judges. I don't even know who they are. Like whenever I see the Texas, first of all, whenever there's a fight in Texas, I'm like, Lord and behold, things
Right.
get ready for things to happen. Now,
Yep.
so that congratulations. I know Katie has Chantel Cameron. She has a rematch supposed to be. And when you said what does Amanda take stay busy fights, that girl's going into PFL. I mean,
Oh,
she's done MMA, so but she wants to do her PFL. Why not?
that's a bad injury. They're gonna have to match make her with somebody who likes to like ground or
Yeah, do
a
ground and
style matchup.
pound.
Another striker. Well, I don't know. She's gonna have faster hands than your average
Yep.
female MMA striker. So I don't know. It might be a good look. What did they make for this? Do you know? So much has been on Mike and Jake and what they made. What did they make?
The girls made
Yeah.
6.1 or 6.4 million, and they never said Amanda's pay, but Amanda said she put it out there. She's like, "Oh, I'm making more." So I'm gonna assume she's making at least a little bit about the same, but I don't know what more means. It could mean 6.41,
Well, we
but
know she at least got
they
the
made
six.
bank. They
Okay.
made
Come
bank
on,
and their
Katie.
sponsors, and they have gained millions and millions and millions of new fans all around the world because they're all still talking about it. All still talking about like housewives. House my neighbor who doesn't even know boxing, housewife. She's like, "Oh my God, did you hear about this fight?" I'm like, "Yes, I was supposed to be there, but they moved it and it's too close to Thanksgiving." So, but it's all right. I enjoyed watching it from home. I enjoyed, it was fun. Uh, but yes, cannot wait to see you ladies back in there. Congratulations again to both of you. You both made history, both trailblazers, both warriors, and man, you guys made a lot of a lot of little girls are going to be wanting to be the next Katie Taylor and the next Amanda Serrano. So bravo.
Bravo.
All right, now Jay. We went from I kept saying the main event was the girls, and then Jake Paul was and Mike Tyson were just there. It was like it went like this. It's like you're having this orgasm, and it's like and then you just went like a limp dick. You know,
Listen, hey,
it was fun while it
same
lasted.
thing. I sat there and I watched the Before the Ring Walk,
Mhm.
and I thought of an In Living Color sketch
Which one?
where Jamie Foxx
Uh-huh.
dressed up like Prince
Oh
and had
no.
the butt out pants.
Oh yeah.
Mike, Mike, why did we see your whole black ass on this broadcast? My mother hooted. She said, "Is his ass like frantic?" Girl,
I wonder. I was, I was like, oh, this is such a beautiful interview with Amir, his son. And he's like, I love you, Dad. And they gave a hug. And then he walks away. I'm like, was that planned or not? I mean, like, did the producer
Mike,
say
why don't
cut
you have
or
your pants on?
like or d- I I did a screenshot. I took a couple screenshots and I sent it to Amir. I was like, well, this was a beautiful moment. And then this, and he just starts laughing. So I'm like, I don't know if it was planned, but it got the world talking. It totally got the world to forget, oh, there's streaming and pardon our issues. It was like, did you just see Mike Tyson's ass? Girl, I
His
was
whole
seeing
length.
They were like, who wore it better? The ass of his or Lizzo's ass in the thong? I'm like, oh my God.
Oh man, that made I mean, it kind of low key made my night a little bit. Like Mike said, "Fuck it, I'm making $20 million. What you gonna do? Fire me for having my ass out? I'm Mike Tyson, bitch. What?
Like, I just remember me and Dimitri were looking, I'm like, oh, and then he's like, I'm like, and since your stream was behind, and that's why I was like, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know where you were at. But then when I sent it to you, because I'm like, I don't know if she got to that. And I think that's when you text me before I took that picture. You're like, whoa. And I'm like, it was so
Got the
funny.
buffering ribbon so many times during the stream because the whole world was watching Netflix. And but I mean, just a very, very brief footnote with that. No one even really had to illegally stream it because fucking everybody has Netflix.
Girl, someone did. Antonio
Oh,
Brown. He had 7.7 million followers on his live stream. Everyone thanked him. Antonio Brown, you might be getting sued by Netflix, just
I
letting you
hope
know.
they do sue him too.
But if you think about this, it's like he was the hero because everyone's streams were going down and he was and people were like, I was having a little bit of streaming issues. Like it didn't give me a screenshot of anything. It just kind of looked like it was pausing. I was like, oh hells no. And people were saying the
Mm-hmm.
sound, and I was
The
like, and I
quality.
tweeted and people were like, well, what are you watching it on? I'm like, on my Netflix account. I am not
Right.
using streaming.
Nobody's watching crack streams
Yeah.
for this
I
one.
go, yeah, mess streams, streaming is totally fine. But it was just, yeah, God bless your bodacious booty.
Mike,
58
Mike is
though,
gonna make a moment, baby. He's gonna make a viral moment, baby.
that's the meme. I'd be like, Jay, what you doing?
Whoever had those whoever made that cup for him needs to send him a check. Send him a check. Let your ass be protected like Mike. We gonna
I'm
protect
surprised
your
I
ass.
didn't see that. If it was for real, why wasn't there any branding on there? Hmm.
Hmm.
That would imagine
Question.
that's such a viral moment.
I would have
Y'all
like
missed
fucking
out,
OnlyFans.
whoever.
I would have put OnlyFans on the back of that shit. OnlyFans.com.
Or he'd be like,
Cameo.com.
smoke this. Mike Tyson's canvas, whatever his thing is.
The hottest
Okay.
ass on Netflix.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That was so funny. Okay. So aside from that, watching Tyson, I've obviously Tyson's one of my faves. I had my dog named Mike Tyson, the dog. Watching him just doing his ring walk it was epic for fathers, for grandfathers, for kids, for everyone to witness one final time. Well, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say final because he might be doing it again. But this was epic because 12 years and 5 months was his last pro fight, and he quit on the stool. And now you see him in front of 60 million plus all over the world watching, over 72,000 people watching in an arena, the biggest stage of his life in his
Biggest
career
gate of all time.
ever. And he's just walking out and he's ready. And I'm like, we could have just done without the fight. Honestly, if he just walked in and walked out, cool, I would have been fine. Take
Yep.
my money.
Cool.
And then,
Thanks, Mike.
yeah,
Little
I know.
shadow box.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. Girl, I was so sad. I,
Me
wa-
too.
I, it was, when we were doing betting and we were talking about who was going to win, like, was there a chance Mike was going to win? I thought not a knockout. I thought maybe a stoppage. I even
Mhm.
thought a draw because I'm like, they're not going to let Mike lose. They're not going to let them put it on their record. Like, what kind of people are these? You
If
know?
Mike was making more, I would have thought he would have won.
Maybe.
Once they told me the purses, I'm like, Mike ain't winning.
Right. I was like, damn it.
Mike ain't
But
winning.
you did, you
Hey.
did, you did say Jake, and I should have bet, but I didn't. I was like, I'm not gonna bet against the guy, even though there was a possibility he was gonna win, but I'm like, I'll never bet against Mike Tyson. But let's just he fought 8 rounds, 14-ounce gloves, 2-minute rounds, which he asked for. Remember,
Mhm.
guys, 58 years old. He got back in shape. He looked good the first round.
Mhm.
Second
He
round,
started off well.
yeah, shades of the baddest man on the planet. And then it just went to, you showed your age, 58. it just reminded me of him in that wheelchair. That one thing they're like, he's like so old. Why is he? It made
It
me
was
sad.
so sad.
It made me
And
sad.
it was the general feeling, you could just feel the
Yeah.
sadness in the arena.
Yeah.
Like my mom don't even like boxing like that.
Hmm.
But she was just like,
You don't want to remember him like that in the
no,
ring.
even if he did get paid, like I didn't like that. I didn't like that, like Roy didn't like his legs.
Yep. And Roy was very like he was so on. He's like he has no legs. I don't like it. I don't like it. And the commentary throughout the night were biased. I understand a lot of people didn't like it, which is fine. But Roy is one of the best, and he's very honest. And he just fought him in an exhibition during COVID during 2020,
Yep.
and it was so different. Even that Mike Tyson from then till obviously 2024, totally different. But
Mhm.
there's reasons why, and we'll talk about it after. But I just, I was like, God, can't they just stop this fight? And I was like, if
Yeah.
Jake Paul knocks him out, like he's gonna be the most hated person on earth,
Right.
honestly.
Right.
And it's like I said, it was a lose-lose situation. We've talked about this, and I just
Shout out to
Kate
Kate Scott.
Scott, yes.
Kate Scott was the only person who really, really kept it real on the broadcast team. She
Hmm.
posed this question to the desk. She said, "What is the win in this for
Yep.
Jake Paul? If you win, it was a 58-year-old man who happens to be Mike Tyson. If you lose, it's a 58-year-old man. So what is really the win in this?" So nobody was keeping it a buck. Like I guess you still got to keep up the mystique and Mike and slapping him and making it all sensational. But let's keep it real.
Jake tweeted out something the other day or yesterday. He goes, I just thought I just had this epiphany that this was after the fight, obviously his win. He's like, I just had this epiphany that I've been called the disruptor, that what I've done in boxing in such a short amount of time to bring new eyes to the sport. But then I really thought about it that Mike Tyson was the original disruptor
Yes.
who really made noise in boxing, and not for the good some of the time sometimes. And but he was just like he was that. And he goes to have that full circle moment with Tyson, the two disruptors. And I look at it that way. I'm like, you know what? He's right. And when you say who wins, their bank accounts win.
Hello. Say that. Jake Paul continues to fascinate me, and I
Yep.
can't look away like a train wreck because it really makes me wonder, is he somewhere like on an ayahuasca high, like scribbling these ideas on a napkin? Like,
Did
you
you
know what we should do?
he said that, right? You heard that he did an
Yeah.
ayahuasca thing, and he
But in
thought,
the greater grand scheme of it all, let's do a fight with Mike Tyson and let's take it to Netflix and let's do it this way. I mean, I'm not saying he's incapable of those kind of thoughts, but what
get
kind
it.
of a team do you have? Well, I mean, we know Mike Leonardi, shout out to Mike Leonardi. But who, like, when you're thinking on that grand a scale, who are you bouncing your ideas off? How do you even paint this picture? Just can we come sit in the creative circle
So
so we can get
this is what I
some
think, because
stimuli?
I thought about this too. And Jake has always put, as crazy as he is, and he's very well known in the, like, he was well known in the YouTube world, like he's been very, very accomplished in other things besides the sport of boxing. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the more ridiculous and audacious and crazy it sounds, he's like, I can do that. Like, if I bet you Logan or someone says, you couldn't get Mike Tyson to fight you if you offered him $100 million. Maybe that was
Yes,
like bet,
can.
bet. And
Mhm.
he has Nikisa Badarian, his the one that founded also MVP. He has Mike Leonardi,
Mhm.
and the people at MVP. They're a really good group of people that have been in the sport of combat sports, not necessarily boxing, so they know what's going on. So they're just like, well, we already know that boxing is boxing, but why not just elevate it, since we've already did the influencer boxing and we know it works. There is an audience. Well, let's just see if someone bites and says, I'm going to offer you this. You're a retired heavy or whatever. You're this big thing. And maybe it would work. Like if, Conor McGregor that fight with Jake Paul would actually happen. But I think they want it in the PFL. Oh, now it's PFL because they're both part of PFL. So
Mm.
it's now at the point of they have made their own lanes and whatever works, it's like, well, we're in the world of social media and clicks and engagement and the shock value. But it's like, we're going to watch
I
as
wonder
guilty
if
as it is.
I wonder if we're ever going to get to the road to Canelo, because I was just jotting down some things here and thinking about all the different type of people that he's had. So he started with like MMA fighters with the Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva, and he did that. Then he went to an actual fighter with,
Tyson, oh, Tommy.
Tommy Fury. And then we go to, you didn't beat down a legend. No, before it was KSI, and no, or was that his brother? Whatever, however they started with
Yeah.
the, like you said, with the
Yeah.
influencer boxing. And now you beat a legend. And then now you done woke up the silver glove section. You sent me the thing with Carl Froch. And so now Carl Froch and Tony Bellew and maybe Andre Ward. I don't think Andre Ward would do it. I don't know. He might for the right price, but
Girl, you know that from our interview. He's like, I'll never say never. He just has to pray on it.
pray on it, pray on
Pray
that.
on it. And when the dollars make sense, and after he saw that Netflix, he's like, this makes a lot of sense, God.
It sure did. I
It
wonder
sure did.
I don't like to pocket watch people, but what did the broadcast team get paid? But
Oh no. I'd
is
like to
this
be
all going
where,
to
yeah.
lead to, maybe that's going to be like Canelo's final fight? It's going to be in Mexico City, streamed on Netflix. Netflix bilingual, whole bilingual staff, whole American staff, or English speaking staff, excuse me, English speaking staff. Maybe they do it in combination with something WWE because Logan's there, and I don't know, the money is there, and the
I
Paul
have
brothers are taking
I
it
have
off.
Canelo by murder.
Oh Lord, he ain't gonna play with Canelo like he played with these other people, because Canelo will fuck him up.
Yeah, he'd be like, even if it's my last fight, I don't care if it's, you know, an exhibition or what, I'm not losing like that. Like
Hell no.
nope, nope,
Mm-mm.
nope,
I'm not
nope,
betting against Canelo, and
no,
so
I
that means
no,
he's never gonna fight Canelo.
no.
I
And
don't think
even though
that's
he
ever gonna
wants
happen.
to, but I don't know. I think, everyone like Connor, all of them are gonna put their thing in there. And now I saw after John Jones fought, he's like, Mike Tyson, I'm listening. Boy, stop it.
Knock it off. Y'all,
Stop it.
where is the honor in that? Ooh, you called out a 58-year-old man. Like, come on, bro. Like, where's the honor in that? Get it
Oh,
together.
okay. Speaking of 58-year-old men. Okay, so now after that, because when we were talking about the honor and 58 and the health, did you read that post by Mike Tyson? That broke all of our hearts because,
Yeah.
first of all, shame on you. We're going to put the post in here of what Mike Tyson put out about his health. He almost died in June. That's when the fight was supposed to happen. 8 blood transfusions. It was considered by an ulcer. You have to ask your mom exactly what an ulcer is because I know they hurt. But do you lose that much blood in ulcers? And he
It
almost
could have been
died.
bleeding. It could have been something burst. Mike has had, see, this is what these younger people and forget about Mike Tyson, who didn't live through the Mike Tyson era. Yeah, Mike had a lot of problems. Mike has done a lot of drugs. Mike has gone up tremendously in weight and
Mm-hmm.
come down in weight. In addition to all the personal sorrow, his own life, he's lost a child. Like, Mike has had a rough life, a
Yeah.
rough life, a glorious life, and a historical life, but the knife cuts both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
Mike to fight anymore.
I
No.
don't, I mean, he said, did you, girl? He said Logan Paul. And Logan's like, I'll kill you.
Man,
Stop.
fuck them.
Yeah, you know
No,
what? Honestly, they shouldn't.
no,
Like, after that, Logan, if Mike says yes, 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 and Netflix says yes, just say no, because
no.
it was just it. I felt the somber around the world,
Yeah.
even like
Don't do Mike
it.
that.
Yeah, so I felt really sad for that post and it, he won in the end because yes, he got healthy again. He lived another day and he made money and he got his kids to finally see him, which I loved when he's like, my kids get to see that their dad's something special. But I just, I,
Very tragic.
it was
Mike, love you.
we love you, but just just go do all your business deals, expand your cannabis and shroom and whatever else you're doing. Why don't you just open like a Mike Tyson playground, adult playground here in Vegas?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he grow the weed there, and
Yeah.
all his pharmaceuticals and things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think
It's a good idea, honestly.
it made me sad. But so yeah, that was
The Tyson Ranch, just like
oh
the
yeah,
bud is called Tyson
yeah.
Ranch. Boom.
Yeah, yeah, why not? So that was like the main stuff that I mean, obviously everyone was tuning in. That's when all our streams were going down, or not
Yeah.
streams, excuse me, Netflix streams. But for the people that got to watch some of the undercard fight, and you guys are new boxing fans, and of course all the boxing fans, Barrios versus Ramos. I saw
Had the
that.
pleasure of introduce, and we've had the pleasure of spending time
Yeah,
with them.
good time. And it was I saw Brittany from TGB Promotions who promotes them. They're like, this is gonna be a fight of the night. And it really was a really good fight. It was a
Mhm.
very close fight because they both got dropped. I
Yes.
just
Yes.
I thought Ramos was almost gonna steal it. I Ramos says I was bloody too.
They were
It's like,
rumbling.
but it was I just the welterweight division, it was a welterweight title at WBC. You know how it's always a glamour division, Jay. It was like the best of the best. Terrence Crawford, and then what's Manny Pacquiao, like Errol Spence. It was like the division was always held up by the best.
Mhm.
Now this is the division we have. Barrios is holding the title. Stanionis has a belt. Ennis has a belt, and I don't remember who else. I think is it Norman? I can't remember. I don't remember the name. Don't don't go crazy on me, guys. But what, are you excited about the welterweight division? I see your face. Wah wah
And
wah.
I say this in like, I'm trying to say this without sounding like a dick. And you know, the welterweight division has long, like you said, been the glamour division. Right now, it's given a little bit blue collar Sanford and Son division. Like I'm sorry, I say that respectfully. I have the utmost respect for Mario Barrios. It makes me think of his publicist, uh, Mario Serrano.
Yeah.
And I remember years ago when we were going to get us a daily email about
Uh-huh.
Mario Barrios. He was going to make sure we knew about his fighters. So he a real one. He'd been with Mario from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
But like when we look at those names, like you mentioned, Boots Ennis, look at what his last outing looked like. Mario Barrios had to get up off the canvas, damn near lost to Ramos. And Ramos, no disrespect, we've interviewed you. You're a lovely person. You're a
Mm-hmm.
good fighter. But I mean, nobody is saying like, "Ooh, Ramos is gonna burn down the barn with it."
Yeah.
Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like he's him. No one in the division right now, I feel, is must see TV. Like someone who is the historical talent pool of the 147-pound division has been. It's a little.
You know what? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it. I think Theofimo needs to move up to 147 to like
Somebody needs to do something to put some
because
life in it, some money in it, because the money is not there right now for what was the glamour division. It's not
yeah,
there.
they're all moved up like 154, but I just, it's kind of like eh. But I mean, he
Tank go up to when he beat Barrios? 140 or 146?
140. No, he was 140. Tank is too
Okay.
small.
Yeah, Tank a
Yeah.
little pop.
Yeah. Do you even see Tank wants to beat up my everyone wants to beat up Jake Paul.
It would look like one of them cartoons where you hold the person by the forehead and you're going, "Let me go." That's what it would
his
look like.
his Jake's clapback was like, what? Because you can't ride on the Disney the Disney rides because you're too short. These guys, these guys are just so
There's
funny.
something else, man. But they got to talk because I mean, look, you go either go to if you want to make some money,
Mm-hmm.
you can go the turkey route or you
Mm-hmm.
can go the Jake Paul route.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few fighters on one hand can do anything to make any kind of money
Can
with
you
them.
believe
Those
you
two.
just said those two names of all people
Ciala Sheik
that
and
are
Jake Paul.
kind of, I don't want to say running boxing, but they're kind of putting
It used
big
to be
paydays.
Oscar and Bob. That was the kingpins. Now it's Turkey Al Sheik and Jake. Where are
I
we at as a
I can't
society?
believe you just said that, Jade. That was like that's like la in the most awkward way because
Weird.
Turkey, as you guys know, bought Ring magazine for $10 million. And I used to work for Ring. I'm very sad. I still have access to my Ring account. I'm like, let me see what they're doing.
If you could still log
But
in.
I'm you know, I remember that Oscars, a lot of people wanted to buy it. My ex-boyfriend wanted to buy it years ago, and he was offering a lot of money, and he's like, no, it's not about the money. And it was more money than Turkey. I was like, damn, where'd you get all this money for? Like, I didn't know you were like that. And one thing Oscar did say was a lot of people wanted to buy it for whatever reason, but Turkey has a plan. And maybe Turkey is a real full boxing fan. Like he's made fights that we all wanted to see finally. If we never came, girl, we'd be in our grave and be like, damn, we never saw Usyk or like Usyk and Fury, you know?
Okay,
Maybe
and he
maybe
was like,
Brooklyn
"Oh,
and Kaya's kids would have seen it.
there we go, make it
Yeah.
happen. What
So I
fight you
think
want?
yeah,
Make it
maybe the
happen."
pink one. So I just
A screwdriver.
I like it. I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Because it's
You
sad.
know, we think about the who outside of those paths, because look at this fight we just had on Netflix. It was very Heyman heavy, if we could say that in a sense. It was Heyman
Mhm.
heavy. So maybe that's where the there's so it's a split alliance now. You've got Heyman heavy there on Netflix with Jake Paul, and then you've got the Heyman people who have gone over to the Turkey side, Wilder, all those people who
Mhm.
used to be with him. You know, Jay Leon Love, who was also a Heyman fighter or a Mayweather Promotions fighter, all that Heyman.
Well, he was training Jake.
He trains Jake. He was trained when
Yeah.
I see him. I remember when he fired Louis Cuba Arias in the parking lot at the Mayweather gym. It's online. It was so ghetto.
Oh,
But
was.
no, that's ancient boxing history. Friends, just lean in. You know, I'm little boxing tea. So little boxing tea for the kids that are new here. So back in the day, it's on video. It's probably on Fight Hype. Shout out to Fight Hype. So I don't know what was going on at the Mayweather gym. This is maybe like 2018, 2017. Louis Cuba or Arias was a fighter on the Mayweather promo team, and
Uh-huh.
they were getting him off of the team. And Floyd sent Jay Leon Love to fire him, and it was a whole like kerfuffle in the parking lot at the
Kerfuffle.
Mayweather gym in Las Vegas. If y'all think I'm lying, Google it.
Oh my
I'll
God.
tell you a lot of things, but I won't tell you a lot. So,
Oh, I didn't know this.
oh yeah, this is old school boxing tea. See, this is boxing tea from when Twitter used to be fun,
Fun.
when Twitter was Twitter, and it used to be fun to be on Twitter, especially on a fight night. You know, it wasn't a good fight night unless like Steve Kim and Mark Ortega got into a fight on Twitter. That's when you knew it was a good fight night and it was something serious going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only people outside of those entities who's really can make some money right now um is Canelo,
Yep.
Gervonta.
That's it.
Everybody else, Usyk, Tyson Fury, all them, Clarence Crawford, all them, those are
They're-
Turkey
Yeah.
devotees. And then there's now Jake Paul. Now we see Ramos and Barrios and um, you know, they're all Jake Paul devotee and Amanda Serrano. So that leaves a big faction of fighters who haven't aligned themselves with selves. That's that. And then you've got women fighters, you know, where are women fighters now into the whole scheme of that? They're not prioritized on the Turkey side. We know that. Although I did see they did a card over there, but it wasn't Turkey's card. Shout out to
Yeah.
our girl. You know what I'm talking
Allie.
about. Shout out to our girl.
Allie
She worked
Drew.
for them.
Allie
Allie.
Drew.
Ali Drew, she worked for them. And then Heyman has never prioritized female fighters. Clarissa had to go do her own thing. Sanisa, now, you know, where do all these fighters go who are floating around in the vortex? What do we do?
Makes me sad. It just makes me sad. Like
Yeah.
boxing is in a good place, but then boxing's not in a good place. Like it's like an
It's in a
oxymoron.
good place for the top heavy, the cream at the top.
Or yeah, or whoever signed it, with Turkey or with Golden Boy, or I mean, everyone's already signed with Turkey. You have Queensberry, who just now, you've had obviously Eddie, and then Oscar, Bob Arum, and it was that rumor that allegedly the king said Riyadh season fights only stay in Saudi because they lost so much money at Crawford
Mm-hmm.
fight. So if that's actually going to happen, then what fights will we get in America? Because American fans, because I remember Turkey said it. He was like, I heard the fans complaining they can't come to Saudi, so I brought Riyadh to them. I mean, it was nice.
You have to give us the right fight. We love Crawford, love that part of it, and it's no disrespect. Who did he fight? Madrimov?
Mad Dream of, yeah.
Yeah, and it's no disrespect to him at all. At all. He's a great fighter. He wasn't beating Crawford, but he's a great fighter. But if you're going to bring an American fight for Riyadh season here, it's got to be a fight we legitimately want to see.
Yeah.
It, bring us the Crawford Canelo. Do that one over here.
Well, they've been trying.
Do that one.
Canelo's like, nope.
Yeah, Canelo ain't playing around with that shit. Canelo said, I was born ready, motherfucker. They want
you know what? After this whole Netflix thing, he'd be like, I don't need Turkey. I'm going straight to Jake and let's talk. Or he doesn't even need Jake. He'd be like, I'm Canelo. Let's do a fight. Let's do it.
Listen, Canelo could do a fight. He's still relatively friendly with Ryan. And we haven't even we're going to get on Ryan in a minute. Yeah. He could put Ryan on that shit in an exhibition fight.
Oh my God.
He could do Canelo. He could headline it. It could be him. It could be Ryan. Tank's going to do his own thing, but Canelo's already said Tank is his favorite fighter. Yeah. And Tank has said Canelo's his favorite fighter.
Imagine if they were co-mains, like, oh my God.
Yeah, girl. Like how deep is this deal with Amazon that well, he's not a PBC fighter. He's a Mayweather. He's still he's his own thing now.
No, he's not Mayweather. Yeah, he's Gervonta Tank Davis. He aligns himself with PBC, but he's not,
This is the second week in a row. Leonard. We need Leonard Ellerby up in here.
Yeah, because they announced the Benavidez fight. So Tank is not going to be fighting. So they're not co-main, but Benavidez is fighting. So we'll just slip that in before we forget. David Morrell, that is a real fight. That's a very good fight. David Morrell.
Part was good. Wait, let me look at
the thing. Yeah, it was. You sent it to me. Brandon Figueroa, the heartbreaker versus Stephen Fulton Jr. That's a really
great fight.
And Isaac Pitbull is back, and he's fighting Angel Fierro.
It don't even matter because it's Isaac, and people are gonna come see that man fight.
And
they buying tickets.
You coming, right? It's
hell
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, fight.
I'm all in.
That's a good fight week. David Benavidez and David Morrell. You guys, if you don't know who David Morrell is, he's from Minnesota. He's, I think, Cuban, but that motherfucker can fight. Like Canelo didn't want to fight him. A lot of people were like, I ain't fighting him because the man can fight. He has, he moved up in weight because he was tired of waiting for Canelo. David Benavidez moved up in weight. He was tired of waiting for Canelo.
Yeah, so, Canelo was the roadblock to a lot of things, just like Spence and all them was a roadblock till Crawford got him off the square. And then the great thing about this fight is it's a fight people legitimately want to see. Yeah. It's a fight people are asking for. And I feel like TGV and them are probably like, you're not the only one who can make fights turkey dinner.
Yeah. Ooh,
you're not the only one.
David Morrell is WBA light heavyweight, and of course Benavidez has been the interim. He's always an interim. I feel so bad. He's an interim light heavyweight champ for WBC. WBC, you need to really put that hammer down and stop giving these interim he's deserved to be a champion a long time ago. But anyway, that fight is happening February 2nd.
They're gonna make a belt. What kind of belt they're gonna make for that fight? The Cuban Latino, what is Benavidez? He's Mexican, and I forgot what his mom is. She's something like Ecuadorian or something a different
Spaniard belt, maybe the Spaniard something. Okay, this is a side note. Did you watch Miss Universe last night? Okay, so there's one Miss Universe. You get one name, and I'm obsessed with Miss Universe and all pageants because I used to do pageants when I was younger. Yes, I did. And last night, and this kind of reminds me of this, is that all the people, all of a sudden, I'm seeing this other thing at the end, Miss Venezuela or something, Miss Philippines, who didn't even place. They got these runner-up type of trophies, like sashes, Miss Universe Asia, Miss Universe Spain or Spaniard or something. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? And I feel like that's what's going to happen is these commemorative belts sashes. It's
Mm.
like, well, you didn't win, but we'll just give this to you. And I'm thinking, first of all,
Participation trophies. I hate that
my
shit.
people's Miss Thailand was runner up, third runner up, and she didn't even get one of those. She should have been Miss Universe Asia. I just had to slip in. It just made me so mad. I wanted to talk to you about it, but I was like, that's what it reminds me of. It's like, well, we can't give you a full title because Canelo owns it.
Here,
Or no,
just
not
take
Canelo
this.
or
You can have
somebody.
this one.
Yeah, but
It's
we'll give
okay.
this to you just to make it look so important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Mm-hmm. I'm
It,
gonna go
it,
back and watch it. I like pageants too, actually.
oh no, no,
I didn't
no.
even
The
I didn't know it
You
was
didn't
on.
see who won? Oh my
What's on it?
God. Okay,
I
so
mean,
first of all, it
what's
was
on it?
on Roku.
Roku. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Really?
Okay, so I'm like, I don't know where I can find that. I don't have Roku. And Mario Lopez and Olivia Culpa, girl, the Miss Denmark one, she looked like a goddamn Barbie. She was gorgeous. The lady who should have won, Miss Nigeria.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I gotta see this.
oh, oh,
I really actually I like the Miss Universe pageant. Like I used to love the majesty. Like I get the issues people have with
mm,
pageants, but that don't bother me like that because I mean look at all these beautiful women. You don't even have to like women like that
that's
to
her.
appreciate. That's Miss Denmark.
No, yeah, she's beautiful, super beautiful, like Barbie
I
beautiful.
like pageants. I just like competition
Yeah.
in all forms. I never had a problem with pageants and the things they would say. I get it, but whatever. But oh yeah, no, I want to watch. I'm gonna watch.
When you see Miss Nigeria, she is stunning. And
Ooh,
I listen to the questions because it's always coming down to the questions, and she answered it so fucking perfect. Like, and I'm like, I even saw it like on Twitter. And first of all, Philippines is like the number one country of pageants, and we've had the most Miss Universes, by the way. Not this
makes
year
sense.
because she
It
was not
makes
that
sense.
good. But I saw a stream from this Filipino chick, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be Miss Nigeria. I knew it. I knew. She was so good. Like blah blah blah." And when she got a Miss Denmark, she's like, "What?" Like it was just funny. I'm like, but I have to pull her up because I was floored. I'm thinking, okay,
When I
she's
think of the pageants,
beautiful.
do you remember that one year when it was like them two girls? They were like Miss
Oh, Miss Venezuela.
Argentina. Yeah.
Wait, when Steve Harvey screwed up.
No, when the
Oh,
two girls, they were secret lovers. Like two of the pageant girls. It was
I
like
think I
Miss
heard about this.
Argentina and Miss something. And they were doing the pageants. And then after they got out of the pageants and got married, like these two fine ass girls. I'm like, wow, okay, period.
Oh, I think I heard about this, but oh, here she is. Miss Miss Nigeria. Her name is Chidima Adenshina. Oh God, fuck, she's so gorge.
Let
The
me see.
African Queens. You need to look her up. She is beautiful, and her answer was just on point. And I, she looked like an African Barbie doll, and she was smart. She was
Ooh,
well, right? She was very well
gorgeous.
spoken. I know, boy. I know, guys. You're
Oh,
like,
wait,
well,
I
you're
don't
talking
want to
about
get no
pageants, but
copyright.
whatever.
Let me turn that off. We don't want no
Oh
copyright.
yeah, yeah.
They know
She's.
they be watching too. They like beautiful women. So hey, yeah, she's
Yeah.
beautiful. She
Yes.
is beautiful. Like she looks like a Disney princess.
She's beautiful. Okay, I know we totally went off. Okay, real fast. We're gonna touch up on some because I really want to talk to you about some other thing real fast, girl. We spilling our tea. Because I haven't seen
Yeah,
you. If you
yeah.
I know you didn't have a chance to watch the Golden Boy card, so I'm just gonna skim through it real fast. It was the first Riyadh season card for Latino Nights. Very interesting in Saudi. They brought a full-on mariachi band. They even let the mariachi band actually perform in the dances. It was beautiful. So, anywho, the fights that I did get to catch up on was William Zabeda versus Tevin Farmer, which I thought was not. I don't like. You think of vintage Tevin Farmer, and
Hmm.
then you're like, he's older now. Where does he go from here? And then you think of William Zabeda. He has just one gear, and that's just straight. It's all offense, offense, offense. But
Yep.
girl, he hurt Zabeda a couple times, and I'm thinking,
Okay.
oh my god, Tevin was that left hand was working all night, and even at times, I think the commentary team they're like, I don't know what Tevin's gonna do because he's not. It's something's not working, and all of a sudden he drops Zabeda. I was like, my God.
Mm,
So it was a
mm,
really good battle back and forth. But Zepeda came up. It was split decision, 95-94 across the board. But
mhm.
Tevin Farmer, he said after this fight, maybe he was going to retire. But after that performance, I think you still have it. And shout out to your wife or girlfriend. She is always there to support you and be like, baby, I got you. It's all right. You did great. And like, just, it was so like, she's a
Mhm.
ride or die girl. But,
Love that.
yeah. And he, of course, he put it out there that there was no drug testing for the fight. And he
Yeah.
said that they kept saying, we're going to do it. And no shade to Golden Boy. I don't know what happened, but that's what Kevin pointed out. So I'm just going by what he said. And then the other fight, what is it called? Where is it? Zor, no, not Zor though. It was, oh yeah, Barboza versus Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez versus Barboza. Okay, so the T on that real fast before that fight has never panned out because their manager, Jose's manager, forgot his name already, but was managers to both. They both used to fight for top rank, and then they
Mhm,
stopped fighting for top rank. They both fight for Golden Boy.
mhm.
You know his manager. What's his name? He signed the freaking pistachio. What his name? Anywho, I like him. He's always been kind to me.
Espinosa?
No,
Those
no, no. I can't. It will come to my mind.
it's like a family of them.
He's Mexican.
I know who you're talking about.
He manages Virgil Ortiz too. He wears these big.
Yeah, that's
So Rick Murrigan. So
yes.
this is the T. There's no. It's not. It's all public knowledge. But when Barboza got, during the press conference before this whole thing, he was like, "I've always wanted to fight you, but your manager, former manager, blah, 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 has always kept us apart." You always think if we fight for the same stable, we have the same manager. It should be very easy. We fight in the same weight class.
Exactly.
So, anywho, the fight was finally made because Turkey Al Sheikh made it. Thank you. And girl, the Ramirez, I did not recognize that Jose Ramirez at all. It was Barbosa put on a clinic. That it was from the beginning. You could see Barbosa he did so well in the fight, and that came up as a unanimous decision. And I
Mm.
think Jose needs to move up. But even Barbosa didn't want this to be an interim because he didn't want to pay the sanctioning fees. Good for you. And he says, this fight to me was like a world championship title because I've been wanting, because Rick has allegedly done Barboza dirty. That's why they broke up. And, it's like War of the Worlds about money, about you favoring this. And so for him, it was all about getting back and proving to everyone that he belongs here. So good for him. And then, of course, Zordo is big. He
That's a
put
big
on a
thing.
beating on Billum Smith. Billum Smith's face was like, so yeah. So that's all he won, and he wants to fight Usyk. Let Usyk fight his undisputed title against Fury, which I'm putting it in there. Fury, Usyk wins again.
Yes, I
Okay.
agree.
Okay. So no, not on to pressing matters, Jay. We talk about this all the time. Totally different guys. I have become a little obsessed with Love is Blind lately, and Jeandra watches it. If you guys don't know, she's also in the entertainment space, so she watches a lot of these shows way before me. And but I know you guys watch it with your girlfriends or wives, or I know
They
you guys are
watch it.
watching it because the guys on there are sometimes they're douches. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah.
And I'm going to talk about this past love. I did not care for this season
I didn't
because,
either. I like
and
the UK bet one better.
yeah, warning, there will be spoilers. I'm going to say, who gets married. I don't remember their names, but I just didn't care for the guests. At first, I'm like, oh, they're opening their hearts. But the two couples that actually got married, I'm like, they legitimately are in love. And then
Mhm.
the other one that asked, what's his name? He was like, you fell asleep, bitch, because she had a
Oh, that's
job.
stupid shit.
And
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
forgot his name too and his parents. He just had too many complaints. He was just such a baby all the time. Like, girl, she was a filthy animal, but Jesus, he had a lot of complaints. Girl, why are you letting them people in your house with your house looking like that?
right. I'm like,
Embarrassing.
I don't even care if you have to pack. I'd be like, hire a cleaner, call somebody, your family, friends. Like, dude, if I come back with the man, they're gonna look at. And if I saw that and I was your man, I'd be like, I'm out, girl.
It's on the schedule. You think the camera crew just happened to pop up there, girl, when they came to pick me up to take me to the airport, I would have texted somebody like, look, there's a key under the mat. Can you like go and just shove all that shit like in the bathtub or something? Because it's looking a mess up in there right now. That's embarrassing.
Something
Girl,
like that. It was
please.
so bad. But yeah, and then the Ramses. Okay, why did Ramses and his friends all look like Pirate of the Caribbean? Like, what was his hair thing?
Yo ho, yo
That's
ho.
all I
Prince
kept
Hakeem
thinking.
from Zamunda. Like,
It was so
bro,
bad. It
I
was
hated that. Like, what year is this? I did not like that. Who told him?
and
I don't, I'm
and
all for
who
personal style, but what the hell?
I'm so glad during the reunion, which was the worst reunion, but he cut it off. And the girl, whatever her name is, she was nice, she was cool, but
She was a weirdo.
I felt really sad for her. Her mom was really scary. That's the first mom I've ever seen with the tongue ring that looked like she was gonna really beat the shit out of the guy. Like you could see her during the reunion.
She was about to
She's like,
hit
I'm
the.
gonna cut his balls off, and I was like, and it broke my heart that Ramses was like, you knew someone got in his head, someone in his family or friends is like, this is not gonna work.
He's weak.
He was
She
weak.
probably dodged a bullet with that anyway, because he seemed just too soft and passive for her
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
because she was a military lady. So
yeah. And the whole thing was like, well, if you go back into service, then what? And he's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, that's why I thought
yeah,
maybe the other guy could have worked for her, but I felt he was a little
their libido was too much in the way, because they're telling you've had these, that's the whole point of these pods, like you're having these deep conversations about your fundamental beliefs. When he told you he was anti-military, that should have been the end of the shit right there.
right,
It
right,
didn't make any
right. But
sense.
the whole time when they go to Cabo, they're all about sex, 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 and then all of a sudden it's like, well, this, and I'm like,
The cat was great,
okay,
so I can get past the military thing.
yeah. And then also Hannah, the train wreck, she lost like 100 pounds. I don't know if that was Ozempic. She's like, I just stopped eating junk food.
Yeah,
Bitch, I stopped eating junk food. I don't lose 100 pounds
right,
in a year.
right, right.
But
Girl, please.
she has issues too. Even her parents said, you are mean. Like
Your
she
own mama. Her mama was hella fine. She just mad
the
because she don't look like
parents,
her mama.
but it was just sad. I was like, God, and he dodged a bullet, even though he was like young and just young. But when he called her, what did he say? She looked like
A grenade. I would catch a grenade for you.
so
Throw
bad.
my head on a train for you. Man, she was terrible. Like her voice. I never even like.
Right? The
I
ick.
thought I
Oh,
was
you guys did
missing
the ick.
something from when they were in the pods, and she was like, see, this is the problem. My biggest other than her being mean, like, you're a liar, Hannah. Nobody was out in these streets talking about how fine you are. Talking about, oh yeah, I don't want someone to just date me for my looks. You getting on Nick about his height and his weight, girl, please. You look like one Damon Wayans and White Chicks. I was not into it. Get the hell out of here, Hannah. Hannah was trash. I did
When
not.
she when she said,
Mm-mm.
she's like, I turned you from a boy into a man. I was like, oh bitch.
Girl,
I would have walked the fuck out. I'm like,
that
cameraman, you can
man had the
have this.
patience of Job.
And I bet you his parents watch that back. He's like, oh my God, you dodged a massive grenade.
What this is what I want to know. What did my good Asian sister do to her man that she married? Because he was looking hella fine when they came back for the reunion. The couple that got married, that the real pretty like Asian mixed girl with the dimples, her and her man, the other couple that got married, the girl from San Francisco or San Diego who wanted them to move to San Diego. She was like Asian and they were like engineers,
Oh,
like
I
very,
love like okay, first of
she
all,
was
that was like
beautiful.
beautiful. Like for them to have like weird chemistry tattoos, like who has that?
Mm-hmm.
Hydrogen, and they're like talking about all those nerdy terms and like, oh, that's so funny. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
They were so cute. I
They were
thought they
really
were just
cute.
darling together. She put him together, baby. Asian wife, black wife, wife of color effect, because he was looking very good at the
I
finale.
did not like that hair. It looked like he had a hairpiece
Really?
on. Like I
Oh,
did
I
like
liked it. I thought it
Dimitri
did
said
so
it
much
looked good.
more for him.
I thought like when they showed the pictures when he was growing out and it kind of like did a fluff. I go, I like that. But I don't know. But I was like,
Mm-hmm.
he's trying a little too hard with that faux Versace. It just it just didn't look good,
Mm.
but he looked better. But I really am happy them.
He
And the
had to
girls,
match her fly because she was fly.
she
She
was
was
so
fly. I was
gorgeous
obsessed with
and
her.
smart. Her parents were
Mhm.
lovely. And we saw Telly, Deontay Wilder's ex, well, fiance, making, I was like, what? What?
You know, she a paid cast member, but you know, I knew the writing was on the wall with that couple. My bad, girl. I say that respectfully because you are a very lovely woman. I think you, but let's be real.
Yeah.
Um, when they were having her wedding stuff and I saw Telly, I was like, this marriage is doomed. And then not like that, not like
Yeah.
that, not because Telly was dooming the marriage, it just was giving paid programming for me. And so then we get to, you know, in the future, and he's got sperm babies, and what the heck? I just was like, what the fuck
I know
happened?
you would think that would come up in the pods. And I was like, now those kids are gonna know. I mean, obviously, social media, and eventually, it's once it's out there and it's on a reality show, they're gonna
Yep.
find out. But I think after like towards the thing, it was the couple broke up, the two girls, and now he's present. But I really enjoy them because spiritually they really bonded. They really, really were open. I really was cheering.
Mhm.
Me and Dimitri were totally like, my boyfriend loves Love Is Blind.
I
he
let's go, Dimitri, go. Yes.
I'm like, babe, you cannot watch this without me. Like he'll watch it. He watched, I think, one whole season without me, and he's like, girl, go.
Oh, he
And
can't do that. No.
but I did it. I wasn't really into it, and then I was
Mm.
like, oh, maybe it's getting better. But yeah, so that was I didn't like this season, but the next one's in Minnesota, where my boyfriend's from. So when they showed some of the cast,
Oh,
you didn't see some of the
we
cast.
should do some recaps because he probably is going to know somebody on there. And then Dimitri can come on and be like our special secret correspondent who's going to give us real tea who these people are. Dimitri, yes, we're going to do this content. You're about to talk some Minnesota Love is Blind with us, honey. Yes,
We
I'm
started
into that.
watching Love Is Blind Sweden.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. Okay. So since you watched the ones I said, I'm gonna watch that one. I'm gonna start it tonight. And I
Love
need
Is
to finish watching The Diplomat too. I love
Oh,
that
I
show.
started it. I haven't finished it. Sweden, so everything's dubbed, and I'm like, so what I'm reading is not what they're saying, and some of them I just. Oh wait, we forgot about Leo. Oh, I'm so rich. And then the girl, what's her name? The big boob girl, who apparently, did you see on TMZ? She had a boyfriend the whole time. That she went
Wow.
on Love Is Blind to get more followers, and then she was married. Like she took a month off or whatever, however long they shot. They were broken up, and then they got back together. Then
Oh,
apparently she flew to California to go to, I don't know, some like TikTok or something to go tour and meet a Love Is Blind castmate, and it was freaking Avril Lavigne's ex fiance, and they were totally making out. Like, girl, that was all tea. I
wow.
was like, I knew that bitch was not there because her boobs got even bigger, her lips got even bigger. I just want to be loved. And fucking Leo's like, I didn't realize I talked about my money. Bitch, you look like Gonzo, and all you did was talk about money.
Okay, let me ask you
Like
this.
he's, how, if you count how many times he said like in all of
And like
like,
I have a Rolex. And like I
yeah,
have a
like
Rolex. Cynthia got a Rolex too. What's up? No,
that
here's
too.
okay. Let me think. Let me tell me. So, what do you think about this? Okay, so remember when they went to the little like meetup where everybody got together and they got to see the other cast members that they dated that they never
Yeah,
saw in real life before? And Hannah's homegirl came and was talking to Nick, and she was like, "Oh, he's really
yeah.
cute." Do you think she was out of pocket, or do you think Hannah had a point?
Okay, so I've done a reality show long, long time ago, but it
Oh,
wasn't a
for real?
dating one. Yeah, I did.
Okay,
It was night. Well, I think he's in trouble for like sexual harassment. The one that did So You Think You Can Dance. It was an
Nigel, let's
educating.
go.
Yeah, it was that. It was a long time ago. If I'll pull up pictures if I can find it. So
Okay.
they say, bring up something, say something. And remember, these people are wasted. They had been drinking. That's all they do. There are a lot of lawsuits against Love Is Blind producers because all they do is drink and not get fed. So I think, especially when you date in that situation, you're finally seeing the guy that you dated and had a connection with, and she's like, "Oh, he's cute, but I'm happy for you, Hannah." Like, Hannah, that's not your best friend. That was your best friend for like a
Right.
hot 5 minutes.
Like six
And
days they were filming.
but you know what? It's like, yeah, he's cute. He's cute. And yeah, it was a little out of pocket, but it's also like that's her first reaction to seeing him. It's like, oh my
Mhm.
God. But yes, she was like fucking 6'2" and he was 5'2". Like, you know, and but they had a really good conversation about, like for her to say, lead with too much ego. Lead with your confidence. You
Mm.
have a good heart. And I'm like, that is so beautiful to hear. And it's like that was really raw and honest. And I know he took that. It's like, because in the pause, I'm like, this guy's a player. Like, hey, what do you look like? Well, and then come to find out, it's like you live in your mom's basement.
Exactly. I like that. And then Hannah still didn't even for real apologize to girl. Like after when they showed like what the context of what the conversation they were having over there. It
Hmm.
wasn't like she was like, "Why did you come over?" Touching his chest or, doing no wild stuff like that. Now, I'm kind of a jealous girl, so I probably would have felt away too.
Yeah.
But since it is a film show, and if I would have seen the footage after, I would have been like, you know what, girl, my bad.
Hmm.
That was my man. It wasn't looking right from my perspective. But now that I've seen it, my bad. Like Hannah just takes no accountability. I feel like she doesn't have any kind of real. I'm surprised that the girls liked her as much as they did because she's really whack.
She's fun, Hannah,
Mhm.
because she was so much bigger and she lacked so much yeah, she was so insecure. So
Yep.
all her insecurity, she kept putting it out onto whatever his name is, that her fiance,
Nick.
and
How she
she
said
admitted
Nick.
it. Ew, ick the Nick. Nick
Mhm.
gives me the ick. Like what the fuck? And so she even said it. She goes, I know that I portray and like am really harsh, but that's just how I am. It's just because I've been treated like that. It's like boo hoo me. So it doesn't give you the right to
Mm.
treat other people. So yeah, I'm glad that those two
If
didn't
she
work
was
out.
feeling away, she should have said, fuck it, I'm out. And you're getting on him talking about he wants to be the most famous. Remember, all of you want to be famous. That's why you're on there. Stop playing with us. Stop
Mm-hmm.
playing in our face. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, but yeah, so that was, but yeah, Sweden is weird. Like,
okay, I'm gonna watch it. And if I
we
finish
should,
it,
let's do some, okay, this is so guys, we're going to be doing this whole Love is Blind recap on different ones because there's Sweden, Japan,
I really want to see
Habi-
that Japan one.
Love is Blind, Habibi, and I think Dubai or Saudi, some Arab country. There's
Mm.
Buenos Aires or Argentina. There's a bunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
very interested in the Japanese one because, Asian people are typically more conservative and like I'm very interested in the nature of their conversations and what is their Cancun trip like? Like if they are they busting it open like that? Because Asian people are
they're
generally not
very,
like that.
but it's weird on the
So
thumbnail for that. There are two girls. I'm like, huh.
oh, okay.
Well, you never know. Japanese, they
Hmm.
got
Yeah, we're
they.
gonna watch that and we'll talk about that on whatever
Okay.
one I end up watching, we're gonna talk about it on next
Okay.
week's Bring It Back.
Okay. So I'm gonna watch Sweden because we had to turn it off because it was just when I think of Sweden, I'm thinking of like hot blondes and boobs, and I'm like, no,
Oh,
they
that's not
look
what they're
like
giving.
they just look like they came straight from a 9 to 5 business job. Like they're in
Like a
suits.
okay, I thought you were gonna say they were giving like Swiss Miss with the
That's what I thought
ponytails and the
too.
titties and the
Like,
corset.
we're like, is it
Ah,
Han and Sven and Hamsberg? No,
yeah.
like,
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm gonna watch
but
that. Watch
there
that.
are some, you always find those
I'm
characters and just
Hans.
I'm haunted. And
I'm looking
their
for
their
love.
teeth, girl, are. I'm like, God, y'all need
Well,
dentists.
there have been centuries and histories of inbreeding.
True.
that's a
Oh my
very
God.
European thing.
Yeah,
There.
CJ, this is fun. Like we got to chat about stuff besides boxing, and I know you guys watch
Hey,
it too. And if I know if you're like, what is this? Love is Blind? Go watch
they're
it.
lying. They
Watch
watch that
it.
shit because I'm surprised they didn't talk about it during the fight. It's a Netflix show. You watch the fight.
I
Yeah, I already got
know.
Netflix.
I'm surprised none of the people were there. Huh.
Yeah, they had a lot, man. They had a lot of celebrities there. Ooh,
Dude, did you see what's her name?
crazy.
Charlize Theron. Oof,
She's
she's
so
so
fine.
gorgeous.
I love Charlize Theron. She's bomb. I like her and I like Scarlett Johansson. That's two fine women.
So
They're
gorgeous.
both super fine
Uh,
women.
all right. Well, we totally went long on this episode, but we had so much to talk about and we got to talk about
I
other stuff.
know.
And yeah, watch Miss Universe.
And if it was too long for you, put it on in the car when you're in your commute because
Yeah.
it's a holiday season or on Black Friday. Listen to us in your
Yeah.
earphones, let your girls keep you company.
I know. And then so there are no fights. You know, it's so weird. F1 is this weekend. I'm like,
Oh, that's right. You're going, right?
ESPN was very smart that they did not put a fight on this week because they're
Hmm.
like it's a really
They
good week
learned
to
from that
do it.
Shakur shit. Oh, excuse me. They learned from that Shakur fight.
Hmm.
Get out.
But we should
Probably
do a
did.
run it back this next week because this is the good we at least we get we're together and we'll find there's always something to talk about that's happening this week. So it might I don't know what it will be, but Deontay Wilder was at John Jonas fight.
Oh, hey, if you made it this far into the into the show, you tell us what you want us to talk about because we could talk about that. Power Slap's going to be coming back soon, so
Mhm.
my baby and her friend are going to do some Power Slap content. We could talk about pageants. I love
Are you
pageants.
watching? Have you watched The Penguin yet?
No, I heard that was good. Okay, I heard that was really good. Okay, I'm going to
So
watch the
good.
Penguin, and next
So
week
good.
that's what we're going to talk about, the Penguin,
It's
because I
so
heard
good.
the social, like the buzz of it is crazy. So yeah, I'm totally down to watch that.
Oh my God. I
Ooh,
couldn't
okay, yeah.
believe that was Colin Farrell with that whole prosthetic. It is such a good show. It's so I wish all like Batman, like all whatever all of that whole Superman, all of them were like dark and evil, not like this.
Yeah, something else, something more life,
And stop
Okay,
making
I'm on
remakes of
it today.
everything. Stop, we have enough Spider-Man and Superman.
Man,
Superman.
listen. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
all right, Jay. It was so fun talking to you. We
You
got
too.
to run it back about a lot of the fights and tell us in the comments or tweet at us anything. Oh, we now officially are on Threads. So, I mean, all
Hmm.
we had to do was just join the account.
Follow us
And so
there.
yeah, follow us there and look for all of our stuff on all our socials, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Threads.
Hmm.
I
We
think
don't
it's
know how much longer we're gonna be on Twitter. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. It's a little hard, but I try,
Mhm.
but we'll see what happens. But again, Jay, I miss you. And if we don't see you next week, if there's really nothing to talk
Well,
about
we got to
after,
be
yeah,
back next week because then the week after that is Thanksgiving, and we definitely ain't
yeah.
doing nothing that
Oh yeah,
weekend.
we have to talk to you guys. Yeah, because then we'll find there's always something to talk about. So yeah.
For
All right,
sure.
guys. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show. Period. I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf.
See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.